Hey, what's going on? You're tuned into the Daily Geek right here on SweetGeekTV. I'm your host, Griffin Grandberg, and today is January 15th, 2009, episode 103, baby, which I am super stoked about. Lots of geek news, so let's get to it with story number one. Steve Jobs is taking a leave of absence due to his health for 6 months. Or at least 6 months. And you know what's the funniest thing about this is that the news bureau chief for Silicon Valley for CNBC, Jim Goldman, got schooled big time by Gizmodo, which I am so stoked about. It was seriously probably the funniest thing that happened yesterday, because earlier when Gizmodo was doing, blog posts saying, hey, the reason why Steve Jobs is not doing the Macworld Expo keynote is because he's ill, he's sick, his health is deteriorating, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? Jim Goldman said, you know what? I talked to people at Apple, and these are really reliable sources, and they say, no, it has nothing to do with that, blah, blah, blah. And yesterday, he was schooled. I just think stuff like that is super funny. In fact, I'm going to link that up on the interesting links section on the main site, SweetGeek.tv. Another very cool thing that I'm going to link to on the interesting links section on our main site, SweetGeek.tv, is the little, it's a little chronological order of Steve Jobs' career that I think is super awesome, done by Valleyway. You need to check it out. It is definitely worth the few minutes and time. The pictures are incredible. I like it a lot. Go check it out. Story number two, Google is laying off 100 workers. Oh no, 100 workers out of 20,000 people? That's it, Google? Seriously? Well, a lot of people are speculating that they're actually hiding a lot more layoffs, but 100 that they're announcing are mostly people they say that are job recruiters. So they're saying, hey, we're not hiring that much anymore, so why do we need these 100 people? So that's why they're doing that. But you know what the funny thing is, it's not so funny actually, that they're closing a few engineering offices, including one in Austin, Texas, one in Norway, and one in Sweden. Story number three, another huge announcement, which, what's funny is Google announced this yesterday, and it was pretty much overshadowed by the Steve Jobs news, which is kind of interesting to note. But they're also closing down several different services like Dodgeball, Mashup Editor, Notebook, Catalog Search, and of course Google Video and a couple others. But these are pretty much services regarded as, not necessarily failures, but ones that really just didn't meet up to the hype or didn't meet up to the expectations and blah, blah, blah. And in these economic times, things are going to be getting a little slimmer. And you know what? That's nothing to be surprised about or really super worried about, because Google is not going anywhere. Story number four, could Facebook be getting music? And do you even care if Facebook gets music? I'm not even that big of a fan of Facebook getting music. I'm on MySpace too, and I really don't notice. But at any rate, Facebook went to people like Rhapsody, I like BuzzNet, iMeme, the last.fm, but it looks like none of those deals are really going to pan out, or at least that's what the rumors are saying, because Warner Music's putting their foot down, saying, no way, Jose, Facebook. You know who you should look at is Lala, and not just because we have tons of capital invested in them, but actually it is a cool service. So yeah, it's kind of weird because, Warner Music is like pushing Lala on Facebook, right? But the service is not that bad. So just finding that integration point is going to be an interesting thing for Facebook. And once we know more, because this is all rumor stuff, I will let you know about it right here on the Daily Geek. Let's move on. Story number five, Snow Leopard, which was regarded first as just a small update that was going to tweak things from Leopard, make things a little bit quicker, now actually might be a more significant update in the sense that it might change some of the UI, the user interface, right? So what are they going to update? Well, it looks like they're going to upgrade possibly from Aqua to what they're calling Marble. Now this is more dark, there's a darker, flattened type of look that the new iTunes and the new iPhoto have. So if you want to see an actual picture, I'm going to include one on the interesting links section on our main site, SweetGeek.tv, so you can see the difference between Aqua and Marble. So let's move on. Story number six, last story of the day. A quick statistic, women buy 57% of consumer electronics. That accounts for $80 billion, right? Which is crazy. It's big. That's a lot bigger number than I would have thought personally. But one number that actually was surprising in the sense that it's actually a number written down, but not surprising in the sense that, it's pretty much figured that women actually influence 90% of consumer electronic purchases, which, like I said, not super surprising since women pretty much run things, at least in my world, in a lot of guys I know worlds. So not super surprising there, but very cool statistic nevertheless. And there you have it. That is the Geek News for January 15th, 2009, episode 103, baby. And I'm your host, Griffin Granberg. And before we go, the question of the day. Do you even care if Facebook gets music? Are you excited about Facebook music? Or have you thought, man, I can't wait until Facebook has some sort of music integration that isn't already provided by one of the applications? Well, I want to hear what you have to think or what you have to say, so make sure you leave a comment no matter where you're at. I will leave a comment to every single comment left, and there you have it. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday. It's almost Friday, and I will see you back here tomorrow.